Let's get going. Okay, sit yourself into a cross-legged position. Come into a good cross legs. And if you need to sit on a lift, then do. It's often good to sit on a lift at the beginning. I don't have a lift with me, although I could use a cushion actually, but I'm okay on the floor. Hold on to your knees and elevate the heart area up to the ceiling and draw your shoulders down away from the ears. Just look down at the floor, look at something that doesn't move. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Fill in the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Breathe consciously into both lungs evenly and out of both lungs evenly. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together, lengthen from your armpits into the elbows. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And with an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest, lift your chest up to meet your chin. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, arms facing upwards. Bring the tips of the fingers, index fingers, together with the tips of the thumbs. Tips of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. A gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence, and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an intention. Hold on to that feeling as you raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open. Hold on to your knees Elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders, feeling how the body and the spine respond to the turn. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, take a deep inhalation in through the nose. And with an exhalation, turn to the left. Drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Just listening to the sound of the breath. And then very gently come back to the center. Come off your lift and sit back on your heels. Sit onto the big toes with the knees apart. Press the shins consciously into the floor so that the thighs react, the thighs come to life. And from there, you can elevate up into the heart area and aim to keep the seat bones down on the heels as you stretch forwards, keeping the heart area lifted, keeping the head lifted. And then finally, bring the forehead down. Listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. Push the seat bones down onto your heels. Stretch into the arms. Listen to the sound of the in-breath and the sound of the out-breath. And then come up onto your knees. Go into dandasana if you're not going into dog down. Turn your toes under and then come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Listen to the breath. Tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Lift the seat bones. Press the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Empty the lungs from the top to the bottom. Observe your internal balance of action. Does it feel as though you are working evenly in the legs, in the torso, in the arms, on the left side, on the right side? Just observe how the body is responding to the pose, whether you're doing dog down or dandasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And then step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position, and then just bring yourself into Tadasana. So have the inner edge of your feet together, your big toes touching your little toes, stretching out to the side. And lift up into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the sound of the breath. Just look forwards, look at something that doesn't move. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. So I can jump because I'm on a normal floor today. Lift up into the chest. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. And concentrate on turning this right leg, especially from the inner thigh to the outer thigh, rotating the front of the leg. If you were here on Wednesday, I think it was, we were talking about corkscrewing the leg. So the front leg, just drop the top back hand. This front leg rotates from the inner groin to the outer thigh. But then that turn makes the back of the leg rotate as well. So you start to get this corkscrew action in the leg, around the front of the leg turning outwards, the back of the leg rotating inwards. Do the same with the back leg, corkscrew that leg down towards the foot. Keep the legs corkscrewing, tightened at the kneecaps, and then reach over, find the shin, aiming to keep the torso even on both sides as you come down, so you don't shrink on the right side. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep corkscrewing the legs, but stamping the big toes down at the same time to keep them grounded. Observe how the sinuses clear. Reach up, come back to the center, swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, left leg and foot all the way out. Corkscrewing the legs, lift up into the chest, and then turn or reach over towards the left side, keeping the left side of the torso as long as you can. Reach up. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Corkscrewing the legs. And then come back to the center. Bring your feet parallel. And then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then raise your arms up. Raise your arms to the ceiling. Extend into urdhva hastasana. Palms facing each other, arms parallel. Spread the fingers, stretch into the little fingers. Stretch the little fingers towards the front of the room, the thumbs towards the back of the room. Corkscrewing the legs, but turning them inwards at the front rather than outwards. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. Corkscrewing the legs. And then release. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, just looking forwards, keeping the breath soft and deep. Stretch your arms forwards, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out. And then raise your arms over your head. Just looking ahead of you, drawing the shoulders down away from your ears, keeping those legs really firmly activated, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, tucking the tailbone in, drawing the belly button to the spine, squeezing the outer elbows in. And then release, just swap the interlock of the fingers. Turn the palms all the way out. Raise your arms over your head. Breathing even deep inhalations and exhalations, broadening the armpits out to the sides of the room. And then gently release your arms and then come back into Tadasana. Just feel the energy that you've released into the chest, into the arms, to the shoulders. Turn your palms all the way out. Lift up into the chest like you're an arrow pointing up towards the sky. Listen to the sound of the inhalation and the sound of the exhalation. Then gently release. Bring your feet hip width apart, turning your toes inwards. Now, if you know you can't reach your toes, you can hook a belt underneath the big toes and then hold onto the belt. I haven't got a belt with me, unfortunately, but hold onto the belt. And then as you come forward with a straight back, and you kind of walk your hands down the back. Otherwise, we're going to go for the big toes with the index finger and the middle finger. We're going to slide those underneath the big toes and then put the thumbs around the kind of outsides of the big toes. So feet hip width apart. You can go a little wider if if you suspect that you will be able to reach more evenly. So I'm just going to come sideways, just stay where you are, just so you can see my back. So toes turning inwards, stamp the big toes into the floor and stretch the little toes out to the side. Lift up into the chest. Keep the hands on your hips and wing the elbows towards each other. Lift up into the chest and then hinge at the hips. Keep the head lifted up towards the ceiling. As soon as you drop your head, you round your back. So we want to keep the head lifted, looking up towards the ceiling. Keep the legs tightened, the kneecaps tightened. Lift the seat bones up towards the ceiling and then reach down. Get hold of the big toes or use the belt around the big toes. Wrap the thumbs around the outsides of the big toes. And then work to hit the legs back, tighten the kneecaps, corkscrew the legs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards, fronts of the shins inwards, backs of the calves outwards, and then pick up the seat bones, project the chin and the chest forward. So that corkscrew action really assists in this pose. Make sure that the thighs are lifted. The thighs are lifted. Keep turning the thighs inwards, the fronts of the thighs inwards, corkscrewing all the way down into the heels, and then pick up the heels away from the backs of the thighs. Project the chin and the chest forwards. Keep the head lifted. If you can bend your elbows out to the sides, drawing the body in through the space between the legs, but keep the head lifted. Keep the head lifted. Come forwards with the heart area. Come forwards with the heart, not the ego. If you come forwards with the head, you're coming forwards with the ego. Have a tug of war with your big toes. Stamp them down. Try and rip them out of the floor like you're trying to pull a nail out of the floor. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, and then just release your hands. Bring your hands into half uttanasana. If you can't reach the floor, you can use blocks or bring your hands onto your shins. Project chin and the chest forwards, rotating the fronts of the legs inwards, feeling the broadness of the backs of the legs, corkscrewing the legs down from the hips into the heels. Keep lifting the seat bones, projecting the chin and the chest forwards. Listen to the breath. Use blocks underneath your hands if you need to, if you're having to bend your knees to reach the floor. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Keeping the head lifted, looking forwards, drawing the shoulder blade region in. Okay, and then bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up, and then come up into advisable. Have the inner edge of the feet together. Lift up into the chest. Again, just feeling the energy of physical body. Keep your eyes looking forwards, just softening them in the sockets. And then again, raise your arms up. Hastasana. Listening to the breath, listening to the in-breath, listening to the out-breath. Keep corkscrewing the legs. Tuck the tailbone in, draw the belly button to the spine, lift up to the sky. And then release your arms. And then come back into Tadasana. Just listening to the sound of the inhalation and the sound of the exhalation. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, we're going to come down into dog down. If you're not doing dog down, do Supta Baddha Konasana. So lay on your back with your feet together and your knees apart in Supta Baddha Konasana. Otherwise, you're going to come down onto your knees, have your hands underneath your shoulders, spread the fingers, so have the hands shoulder width apart this time. Step back a little, turn your toes under, have the feet hip width apart, and then come up into dog down. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can stretch your arms up to the ceiling, interlock the fingers, and then stretch your arms along the floor, away from your head, just to make it a little more dynamic. So whichever pose you are in, observe how your body responds to the pose. Observe your balance of internal action. Listen to the breath. Listen to your balance of internal action. Listen to the breath. Observe the breath. Observe even inhalations, even exhalations. Okay, from dog down, come down onto your knees. Just if you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, stay there for a moment. Just rest your arms, rest your hands on your lower ribs. In Virasana, just sit back on your heels, lift up into the chest, feeling the energy, the lightness that you have brought into the physical body through your practice so far. Okay, and then, excuse me, sit yourself down onto the mat and stretch your legs out directly in front for dandasana. So if in dandasana you kind of sink, if your back rounds in dandasana like this, then sit on a lift. If you can consciously lift the chest, if you can consciously extend into the legs, then you can stay on the floor. Have your hands at the sides of the hips, pushing your hands into the sides of the hips, activating your legs like you are doing dog down, and then lifting up into the chest. So keep that action as you raise your arms up. Raise your arms up to the ceiling. Keep the legs activated. Observe that as you raise your arms, perhaps you lose the legs altogether. So you've got to reactivate your legs. Have your big toes touching, even if your heels are stretching away from each other. Corkscrew the legs, turn the fronts of the legs inwards so that the backs of the legs broaden outwards. Corkscrewing all the way from the hips into the heels. Reaching up to the ceiling. And then release your arms. So we're going to come forwards into paschimottanasana. Not everyone can reach their feet, and in which case you can throw a belt around your feet when we come forwards. But we're going to come forwards, and we never want to come forwards like this. If you round your back to come forwards, you're going to hurt your back. So when you come forwards in dandasana, you have to really actively keep the head lifted, keep the chest lifted, keep the back straight. And then when you reach forwards for your hands, you always keep your head lifted. If you start to do the pose with your ego, with your head, then you just round your back and you'll hurt your back. So it's this lifting action of the front chest. That's really important. So it keeps your back straight. It keeps the shoulder blades drawing in towards the chest. So have the hands at the sides of the hips, lift up into the chest, reach up, extend into the arms. If you've got a bad back, this can be pretty strong. So get a belt and just have your arm, stay upright, have your belt around your feet and just pull against the belt. You can come forwards a little, but always coming forwards with a straight back. Otherwise, come forwards, hinging at the hips, lifting the abdomen up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone, keeping the arms lifted. Keeping the arms lifted, coming forwards, reaching beyond the feet. Keeping the head lifted, keeping the back straight. And then finally take hold of the feet or use the belt. Keep corkscrewing those legs, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, broadening the backs of the thighs, lift up into the chest. Observe as this pose warms up the body. Some poses create fire in the body. This is one of them, paschimottanasana. Keep the legs really firmly activated, pressing them into the floor, lifting up into the chest. Don't drop your head, come forwards, lengthening the sternum bone towards the feet. If you can reach around the feet, then do. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, corkscrewing the legs from the hips into the heels. Listening to the breath as you come forwards, keeping the head lifted, keeping the heart area lifted. If your chest makes contact with the legs, then you can perhaps start to bring the head down. So we kind of fold in the body into a little paschimottanasana, padangusthasana kind of action. Paschimottanasana. Okay, and then release. Lift the head, lift the arms. So lift the chest and then reach down, find the sides of the body. Just observe the quietness of the brain. And then stay stretching your legs out, but this time bring your legs wide for upavistha konasana. So the same things apply here. If in upavistha konasana you kind of roll back like this, then sit on a lift, sit on a folded blanket, or sit on some cushions. So we have to try and really keep the back straight, drawing the kind of plug in the lumbar spine in towards the front chest. So find that levelness. Roll onto the front edge of the seat bones and then lift up into the chest. Again, corkscrewing the legs, turning the fronts of the thighs so that you feel the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. Corkscrew all the way down into the heels. Lift up into the chest. If you've got a belt handy, then get a belt, hold it really firmly between your arms, and then raise your arms over your head. If you don't have a belt, then just imagine that you're holding onto a belt and that you raise your arms up to the ceiling. Keep the legs really firmly activated. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. And then release. Have the hands at the sides of the hips. Lift up into the chest. Now, ideally, with the forward bending stage, if you've got a bad back, you just stay at this stage. You can raise your arms up in the air instead of coming forwards. Ideally, you want some blocks underneath your hands so that your hands are kind of further away from the floor, just to give you a little extra space. So have a couple of blocks handy. I don't have the blocks with me, so I'll just do it without, but I kind of know that I can do that. So turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, lift up into the chest, and then bring your arms forwards, bring your arms in front, be on the fingertips. And then a little bit at a time, walk your hands, walk the blocks away from the body, keeping the back straight, keeping on the front edge of the seat bones, lifting the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Just coming forward, incrementally keeping those legs firmly corkscrewing. Try not to round your back roof. It looks like keep your head lifted. Keep your heart area lifted as you come forwards, or use blocks underneath your hands to give yourself a bit more space. Press the legs into the floor. It will really assist in this pose as you come forwards. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, keeping the head lifted. Okay, and then gently walk your hands back. And then bend your knees. Bring your feet into padangusthasana. Hold onto the big toes. Lift up into the chest. Lift up into the chest. And press the heels consciously together. Really press the heels together. Bring the little toe side of the foot together. Lift up into the chest. Again, lifting the heart area. Drawing the shoulders down. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. If you've got a bad back, again, just stay at this stage. Otherwise, really lift from the abdomen up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone, up to the chin. If you've got a bad back, stay at that first stage. If you don't, then gently come forwards. Again, with the head lifted, with the heart area elevating upwards. Bending the elbows in towards the inner groins, and then lengthen those inner groins out to the knees. Coming forwards a little at a time. And then you can let go of the feet, stretch the arms forwards, but you can use blocks for underneath your hands again, rather than coming all the way down. Keep the heart area lifted, keep the head lifted, keep the feet pressing firmly together. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then come back to center. Just hold onto the big toes again and lift up into the heart area. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Again, feeling the warmth of the action of the pose in the chest and in the arms. And then from padangusthasana, bring the legs either into swastikasana or half padmasana, whichever you can do without strain. And then hold onto your knee. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Hold onto your knees, pull against them so that you can roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. Lifting the heart area upwards, lifting the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, keeping the shoulders down away from your ears. Breathing into both lungs evenly, out of both lungs evenly. Draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with your chest. Lift your chest consciously up to make contact with the chin. And incorporate Mula Bandha. So this is Jalandhara Bandha, chin to the chest, chest to the chin. Mula Bandha is where we consciously lift the anal sphincter up towards the diaphragm region. And then focus on filling your lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Just spending a little time with the breath, maintaining Mula Bandha and Jalandhara Bandha. Just consciously filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, breathing into both lungs evenly. And emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom, emptying both lungs evenly. Just following your natural breath patterns, maybe making the breaths just slightly consciously deeper, but not overworking it. And then just complete the breath cycle that you are on. Release Mula Bandha, release Jalandhara Bandha, and then raise your head, just look forwards. We're going to do a couple of rounds of Brahmari pranayama. So remember, Brahmari is normal inhalations and long hummed exhalations on a low note so that the chest resonates, the throat and the sinuses, they all resonate. And you exhale on the low hummed exhalation until the lungs are empty. And then just normal inhalations and then long, slow, hummed exhalation until the lungs are empty. So we'll do 5 of those. So when you're ready, take a normal exhalation, a normal inhalation, and then follow that with a normal exhalation. A normal exhalation, and then a normal inhalation, and then we'll begin. So you don't necessarily have to follow my breath, you just follow your own. Mm. 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 And then bring the breath back to the normal rhythm. Just try and maintain that feeling of resonance in the chest. Just holding on to that resonance. Hold on to the knees, elevate the heart area really consciously up to the sky. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. Drawing your abdomen across, and your ribs and your shoulders. And then gently come back to the center. Hold on to the knees, lift up into the chest, and then turn to the left. Drawing your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders. Listening to the breath. And then gently come back to the center. Just come down onto your back. Just hold the edges of the mat. And then bend your knees and raise your legs up to the ceiling. Just a few moments in viparita karanhi. You can put a bolster underneath your lower back if you're finding it difficult to lengthen your legs to the ceiling. Corkscrew those legs, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, feel the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. Keep corkscrewing the legs all the way up into the heels. Observe how that brings firmness and reassurance into the lumbar. Activate those legs really firmly. Just a gentle inversion. Okay, and then bend your knees. Stretch your legs along the floor. Just come up onto your elbows a moment. Just make sure you're right in the center of the mat, right down the middle, and then glide yourself out along the floor. Let the feet fall apart. Allow your body to release into the ground. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and long, slow, deep, deliberate exhalations. Unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. Allowing the arms and the legs to flop into the floor, to become heavy. As you allow the body to become heavy on the floor, observe that sensation of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. A good, positive, healthy energy that brings restorative, positive energy into the limbs and into the muscles and into the organs, including the flesh and the skin. When you're ready, wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. And then gently roll over onto the right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just a final cross legs with your hands in Namaste, a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose, down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to seek to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. Then very gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees. Palms facing upwards. Just bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry with us into our day. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back.